My name is Lisa, and I work for a regular company. I used to live alone, but I started living with my parents again when my mom was hospitalized. My dad is a handy person, but he's not very good at household chores. The main reason I moved back was because I was worried about leaving my dad alone, especially since my mom's hospital stay seemed like it would be prolonged.
I feel bad that you had to give up living on your own.
What are you talking about, Dad? Don't worry about it.
But you have work, and you're still doing most of the housework, so I feel even worse.
Dad, you're helping out with vacuuming and cleaning the bathroom. Besides, it seems like I'm better suited to living at home. It's really comfortable. My dad did his best with the household chores he could manage, and we lived happily together. Then one day... Hey, Dad, is something wrong?
Well, I just started thinking about Suda, wondering how he's doing.
Oh, Suda. We haven't heard from him at all. I wonder where he is and what he's doing.
Who knows? I just hope he's staying out of trouble and staying healthy.
Suda is my younger brother. He had a huge argument with my dad over money when he was still in high school. After that, he left home and we haven't heard from him since. My dad often thinks about Suda and worries about him, wondering if he's doing well. Some time later, our mom, still in the hospital, passed away peacefully with my dad and me by her side.
Mom, you didn't have to leave me so soon. We promised to go to the hot springs together once you got out of the hospital. Always in such a hurry.
Dad, please don't look so sad. Mom is still with us, always by our side. After we said goodbye to Mom, Dad became very depressed. Not long after, as if following Mom, Dad also passed away and went to join her in heaven. It was so sudden and very shocking, but I like to think that by now, my parents are happily reunited and smiling. With the help of my relatives, I managed to prepare for the funeral. While I was handling the reception.
Hey, sis. Long time no see. It's me, Suda.
Wah. Suda. Where have you been all this time? And who is this?
Oh, this is my wife. Her name is Kana. Isn't she cute?
Wait, wife? Suda, you got married?
Nice to meet you, I'm Kana. You don't look anything like Suda.
Yeah, sis has always been the reserved, plain type. But look at me now, I've totally transformed into a stylish trendsetter.
Out of nowhere, Suda, who had been completely out of touch, showed up at Dad's funeral. And he introduced a woman named Kana as his wife. I had a terrible feeling about why Suda, who had never contacted us before, suddenly appeared. Unfortunately, my bad feeling turned out to be right. Hey, Suda. Showing up suddenly at Dad's funeral. What are you really here for?
What do you think? I'm here to claim my inheritance, of course. Is there any other reason I should be here?
Inheritance? Seriously?
Relax, sis. I'll take care of everything. I'll inherit it all.
What? Are you really here just to talk about money?
Suda is the only son, right? So it's only natural he gets the inheritance.
What? You haven't contacted us at all. You didn't even show up for Mom's funeral. And now the first thing you bring up after all this time is money?
Stop nagging me. Don't talk back. Unless you want me to make a scene and ruin Dad's funeral right now.
Oh, that sounds like a great idea. It'll be super dramatic. We should play some upbeat music instead of those dreary chants, right?
Wait a minute. What are you two talking about? You can't be serious.
If you don't want that to happen, you better not cross me. Don't waste your energy.
What is with that attitude? This is the day we're supposed to say goodbye to Dad.
What's so great about staring at some smoke? That's just tasteless. Oh, and I know Dad lived in a luxury high-rise apartment.
We're going to live there now. So you're in the way.
Live in the high-rise.
You've just been a leech on Dad. So give up your claim to the inheritance and get out of that apartment.
As I was struggling with the sudden situation, some relatives who overheard the commotion came to help. They knew about Suda and called him out for his outrageous behavior, eventually driving the two of them away. The funeral proceeded smoothly, but Suda and Kana kept showing up at the house repeatedly. While dealing with this and sorting out the inheritance, I received a phone call from someone. This helped me make up my mind to give up the high-rise apartment to Suda and Kana and move to a new place. A month later.
Hello? Sis. What the hell is going on? Explain yourself.
What's this all of a sudden?
It's about the high-rise apartment. What the hell is going on?
What do you mean? I moved out just like you wanted.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the rent. We moved in and found out the apartment is a rental. You never mentioned that.
What? You didn't know it was a rental?
Of course not. If I knew, I wouldn't be this mad. You should have told me.
Well, you never asked. You said you knew about the high-rise, so I thought you had it all figured out. Apparently not.
We've been living apart for so long. How would I know?
Thanks to you, our plans are ruined. You better get over here right now.
Both Suda and Kana seemed extremely angry. I reluctantly decided to go to the high-rise apartment where I used to live. When I arrived, Suda and Kana were waiting for me, looking furious.
You're late, sis. You should have come sooner.
Ugh. Stop complaining. What's got you so worked up?
Shut up. This is ridiculous. How could you think it was okay to hide that it's a rental?
I didn't hide anything, and I'm not messing around. You two were the ones who insisted on moving in without properly discussing it first. You wanted to live in the high-rise so badly, so don't blame me now.
I said, this is nonsense. Why should we have to pay rent?
Yeah, there's no way we can afford this insanely high rent every month.
What are you talking about? If you're living in a rental, of course you have to pay rent.
It's 500,000 yen a month. Who's going to pay that kind of money?
You and Kana, obviously.
If we could make that kind of money, we would have bought our own high-rise apartment. And where's the rest of the inheritance? What about Suda's share?
Oh, I inherited everything else. It's all taken care of.
What? Why did you get everything? Where's my share?
Yeah. Suda is the second child but the eldest son. He should be the one inheriting.
The decision to leave everything to Lisa was your father's final wish. It cannot be changed.
As I was getting exasperated by Suda and Kana's loud demands for the inheritance, someone came into the room. That person was...
Who are you? Why are you wearing a suit? Are you from the management company or something?
Whoever you are, you can't just barge into someone's home.
I apologize for the delay in introducing myself. I am Noah, the lawyer appointed to handle this matter.
What? Why is a lawyer here?
Dad asked Noah to help when he was drafting his will.
A will? There's a will?
Of course there is.
This is the first I've heard of it. You were going to keep it a secret if this lawyer hadn't shown up, weren't you?
Why would I tell someone who's only after the inheritance?
Don't act so high and mighty. You've been leeching off Dad all this time.
Yeah, living off your parents without being independent at your age is pretty pathetic.
You seem to be unaware, but Lisa moved back home out of concern for her parents. She took excellent care of her mother during her hospitalization, and her father was very grateful for that.
So what? I'm still the eldest son. I have the right to the inheritance.
That's right. Suda deserves his share of the inheritance.
Sorry, but that's not how it works.
What do you mean by that?
I mean exactly what I said. In fact, I'm living in another high-rise apartment that Dad left me as part of his estate. The new place I moved to was actually another high-rise apartment owned by my father. This was something Suda and Kana had no idea about.
What do you mean? There's another high-rise apartment.
What's going on here? How come you get all the good stuff?
The other high-rise apartment is privately owned. Lisa inherited that one, not a rental.
Why does she get all the benefits?
Well, considering the choice between an estranged son and a devoted daughter, I think the answer is obvious, don't you?
This is nonsense. Give us that high-rise apartment instead.
That's not happening. I'm just respecting Dad's wishes.
Fine, then give me the rest of the inheritance. That should be fair enough.
Yeah, come on, can't you do that? We've been banking on that inheritance. We've been living it up, expecting to get a lot of money.
I'm not giving you any inheritance just because you spent money frivolously.
Why not? Your brother and his wife are in trouble here.
That's not my problem. You shouldn't have counted on money you didn't even have yet. It hasn't even been settled. Relying on something like that is what got you into this mess in the first place.
It's my right to use my inheritance however I want.
Which is exactly why I don't want to give you a single yen. Dad was worried about you, you know? He was concerned about how you were doing. Suda and Kana had been spending money extravagantly, thinking they would soon inherit Dad's estate. While it's understandable to expect an inheritance as children, spending money you don't have yet is quite irresponsible. As I was thinking about this in exasperation.
Being happy is one thing, but you've been spending way too much money.
Why the sudden change in attitude? What's your deal?
I told you I'm a lawyer, didn't I? Let me be honest here. Just like Lisa said, you should have realized at the point of payment that you didn't have the money yet. Better yet, you should have realized it before you went shopping.
Why? I've said it before, I'm the eldest son. I have a wife.
That's right. We might even have kids in the future. Grandparents are supposed to think of their grandchildren, right?
That would only apply if Suda's behavior had been good, wouldn't it?
I haven't done anything that would make me a bad son. I left home because of a fight with Dad.
But you could have at least kept in touch with Mom or me occasionally, right? Dad was really worried about you until the end, you know?
What? Dad was worried about me.
Yes. He had no idea where his precious son was or what he was doing. And Mom. She was sad she couldn't see you one last time.
Even Mom.
Of course. Both Mom and Dad were always worried about you. Can you really say you've done nothing to disappoint them?
Well, I guess.
Lisa took care of your mom with your dad, and she did everything alone for your dad. She managed the funerals, all of it. Did you do anything? Did you even say thank you before they passed away?
After being scolded not only by me but also by Noah, Suda, and Kana.
What's the point of saying all this now? They're not here anymore, so there's nothing we can do.
Yeah, if you're so serious, why don't you bring them back as ghosts or something? Then Suda and I can play the kind, caring siblings all you want.
Stop talking nonsense. Be more realistic.
Isn't that the most straightforward? If you can't do that, then stop nagging us.
Kana's right. How are we supposed to show filial piety to people who are no longer here?
Enough already.
What's with you all of a sudden?
You think you can get away with this behavior? Think again.
You will be paying the rent here every month, and on time. If you want to honor Dad, take care of the high-rise apartment he left.
There's no way we can do that. Even 50,000 yen a month is tough.
Exactly. We were so excited about living rent-free in a high-rise.
You two need to drop this easy living attitude. Don't think you can just live comfortably without paying rent.
Well, I'm done. It's not my problem anymore. Suda can handle it.
What are you saying? If anyone pays, we both pay half.
Why should I pay such a high amount? No way.
That's my line. You're the one who insisted on living here.
You were thrilled too. Don't pin this all on me.
Fine. Sis, help me out here. We're getting the inheritance, right?
With Suda and Kana starting a marital spat over the rent and then trying to cry to me for help. I won't help you at all. I can't waste Dad's hard-earned money.
Please, sis. You're the only one we can rely on now.
If you can't pay the rent, then you need to leave this apartment immediately.
No way. I want to live the high life here.
Is that so? Oh, hello, police?
What? Sis, why are you calling the police?
Please don't do that. We'll leave quietly. Just hang up the phone.
Too late. They're already on their way. You have to accept it.
Come on, let's get along. Your cute little brother is back.
There's nothing cute about you at this age.
Please, sister-in-law, help us stay here somehow.
You're so shameless. If you want to live here, pay the rent with your own money.
We can't afford this rent. Just let us have the other high-rise apartment.
Please, we're really broke.
You spend it all on fun, right? I have no obligation to help you.
That's right.
Reflect on your actions and think about what you need to do. Afterward, Suda and Kana were sternly reprimanded by the police. Apparently, someone from another apartment called the police due to the loud noise coming from their open window. The officers gave them a strict warning and left, but Suda and Kana's real struggles were just beginning. Unable to pay the high rent of 500,000 yen, they still wanted to live in the apartment. They took out loans, but such a lifestyle was unsustainable. Quickly drowning in debt, they eventually had to leave the apartment. Even if they tried to claim their rightful inheritance, it would all go towards repaying their debts. Without jobs and failing interviews, and with no parents to rely on, they were left with nothing but regret. With no home, job, or money, they were left with only debts they couldn't repay. In the end, Suda and Kana lost everything and ended up living in a cardboard box. Meanwhile,
What an amazing view. This apartment is on a higher floor, right?
Yes, it is. But the other one has a great location, so even the lower floors are expensive.
I'm glad you found a tenant so quickly.
Yes. Noah, thank you so much for everything. You've been a huge help.
No problem at all. I'm sure your parents are watching over you and are proud of everything you've done. If you ever need anything or feel lonely, just give me a call. I'd be happy to keep you company.
The high-rise apartment that Suda and Kana vacated quickly found new tenants. They were a kind-looking couple, and I felt assured they would take good care of the place. The apartment I currently live in is on a higher floor with a great view. Sometimes I think my parents in heaven might have a clear view of me from up there. With that thought in mind, I decided to live my life with a smile, not just for myself, but for them as well. Dad, Mom, don't worry about me. I can still keep going strong. As I gazed into the clear blue sky, I conveyed this message to my parents with a beaming smile. If you enjoyed this video, we'd be thrilled if you subscribed to our channel. Subscribing means you'll receive notifications for new videos, keeping you in the loop with all our latest content. Your support is vital to our growth. Let's enjoy and grow together.